basically what happens is someone self-isolates. They realize, they see themselves spending a lot of time at home and they're not engaging with others. And so what they do is they use work as an excuse, and not necessarily that they want to work or they like to work. It's just some men are wired to work, but they use it as an excuse to essentially avoid certain uncomfort that happens when you get into social environments. So,
Like
and it
what?
becomes a trend.
Like what, for example? Because it's safer being at home. It's also lonelier, more boring, but it is safer, right? That's why people choose that route.
Yeah, because they're afraid of being uncomfortable. And if you don't scratch that scab of uncomfort, you will not grow as a person. You will become, as they say, self-isolated. You get stuck in your own train of thought, and then you think nobody else really cares about what I'm thinking about. And then these thoughts just start looping, right? And when they start looping, your self image, I guess is the best way to say it, goes right along with it. I mean, it's a pattern.
Yeah. Well, why is this such an interesting topic for you? Like, why do you choose to coach about this? Did you follow this pattern of a man who self-isolated? Before we got onto the show, you were telling us you had 10 children. I mean, I would self-isolate too if I had. I have 2 and I want to isolate all the time, just be away from them. So, yeah, why is this such an important topic for you?
I didn't really get into self-isolation myself during my married life. In my single life, I did. I built a motorcycle, and I wound up working from 6 in the morning till 11 at night, and I was there by myself, and I didn't have to really think about carrying a conversation or worrying about what was going to come up. I worked and I worked and I worked. And of course, then when the motorcycle was done, I had to get back out in the public eye, and I found that I actually enjoyed social activities. And so what happens is it's not an immediate thing that happens to us. Shortly after I got married, I did fall into a bit of workaholism, I would say, but I didn't call it self-isolation because I was in a sales environment. So I got my social activity and my social fix, we'll say, because everybody has their saturation point when it comes to isolate or when it comes to social interaction. Some people handle social interaction, they get energized by social interaction. Other people actually get de-energized by too much social interaction. So there, you have to find that balance for yourself. And for myself, I need a balance. I'm like 50-50. I can be an extrovert, I can be an introvert. But too much of either one causes psychological issues. And the psychological issue is simply this, that once you get too much isolation, you want more of it. It's almost like you're afraid to then go out in a public eye. And so when
you forget how to do things.
Yeah. So when I fell into the workaholic portion of my life, which I speak a lot to because this is what driven men deal with. They'll get up. It doesn't matter what time they get up. They're on the clock immediately. It's just like if they don't have a morning routine, the only thing they know is to work. And so they get stuck in this work mode. And then pretty soon the work turns into 5 to 5, 5 to 6, 5 to 8, and then the wife comes and says something needs to give, which happened in my situation. My wife said something has to give. You can't be working 16 hours a day. We have kids, we have a relationship, and it was kind of like I don't know what you want to say, but it was a difficult moment for me in that moment because she met me at the top of the steps when I was coming up at whatever time it was. I don't know. Anyway, so men who have the ability to be a workaholic are very susceptible to self-isolation.